This is a quick overview of the dashboard. The idea of the dashboard in WebABA is to give you a quick snapshot of everything that's going on within your organization. Whenever you come into the dashboard, one thing you want to make sure that you do is always hit the refresh tab. That way it will update any of these counts that are available. As you can see, the dashboard is broken down into 5 different widgets. There's an employee widget, a payroll widget, a client widget, a billing widget, and a scheduler widget. Most of these widgets are just informational, but there are some that are actionable. So let's kind of go through these one by one. First one that we'll see, we have the employee widget. The employee widget has 3 different links that you can click on. We have vacations pending approval, employees with missing credentials, and employees with expiring credentials. If you see it highlighted in orange and a count next to it, that means there's some more information that goes along with it. If there is no count next to it, just like expiring credentials right here, it means we don't have anything to worry about with that. But again, always click the refresh button just to make sure. Let's start with vacations pending approval. This is where your employees will go ahead and submit vacation requests from the provider side. You can click into this and see who's requested a vacation. Obviously, we have 2 here right now, and you can do a couple items. You can either select all, you could select one at a time. So if you select all, that's great. You can unselect them. You can also select just one at a time. You now are able to either approve that vacation, deny that vacation request, or move this session to a dummy account, and you can then swap it out to another provider later. There is a good feature in here if you want to approve them, and so for instance we're going to approve this one right here, Kaylee Ray, and let's say she's already scheduled with an appointment for a client, and we try to approve her. What will happen, you'll get an error note, activity scheduled during the leave time. So what that means is you're going to have to swap her out of the appointment that she's already scheduled with before you can approve her. Or you could just move her to the dummy account that will approve her vacation, and then you need to go into the dummy account and then assign that to another provider. So it's definitely one nice feature that is in there. If somebody does not have anything scheduled and we go to approve them, like Brooklyn right here, we could select that one, go to approve, we'll hit OK, and you'll see that her vacation request was approved and she has now been removed from the dashboard, which is really, really nice. Once we're done with that, we can just press cancel. We can go back to the dashboard. You'll see the count still remains at 2, but if we refresh that again, the count's going to move back to 1 because Brooklyn has been removed from there. The second one that we have is missing credentials. This is where any of the credentials are uploaded for any of your employees in the system underneath the HR module and employees. And if you have not uploaded any of those credentials or checked them off as not applicable, they will show here. So if we go ahead and we click on missing credentials, it's going to give us a list of the employees, the credential types, and the credentials that are missing. So again, we can go into the employee section, update those for each particular employee, save that information. We can come back to the dashboard, refresh it, and those will be removed from the screen. Very, very simple to do these things within WebABA. Also, if employees are about to have credentials expire, they're going to list here. By default in our system, it is 30 days. If you need more than that, just contact the support. They can set that up on the back end for you. But it's nice to get that alert in there. On the client side of things, same deal, expiring authorizations, any of your clients' authorizations that are in the system, if they're going to expire, you're going to have a 30-day window. Again, if you need to have that stretched out, just contact our support team. We can handle that for you. Without payer source, again, this will just mean that you have put the client into the system, but you have not tied a funding source to them yet, whether that be insurance, a school contract, private pay. It just means that you have not linked a funding source to them yet. Without plan of care means you have tied them to a funding source, but you have not scheduled anything out for that particular client within the system. And then today's copay is just going to give you a list of clients that have copays for sessions for today. On the billing side of things, We look in here, this will be activities that are rendered but not billed. So when your providers render a session, it will automatically come over to here if you have not pulled it into billing yet. So it'll just be anything that is ready to bill but has not been billed. So if we click on this, we're going to see our client in here. We have 2 different sessions. We just have not pulled this information for billing yet. So it's a nice way for you to see what has been rendered in the system but what has not been billed. On the scheduler widget, we also have vacations pending approval. Same deal as in the employee module. So we certainly understand how to do that one. We just went over it. And then we also have unattended activities last week. This can be very helpful for supervisors. We'll go ahead, we'll click on unattended activities. It will give us a list of clients as well as the providers that are working with them and the dates that those were supposed to occur. So basically, those sessions are confirmed in our system that there was supposed to be an appointment. They have either not been rendered or moved to canceled by client, canceled by provider. It's just sitting there as confirmed. So you'll want to double check with any of those providers to make sure that if they did go to that session, they need to render it, and then obviously it'll be available for billing. If it was canceled, then they need to make those appropriate changes. Once they do so, you can refresh the system, and then these counts will also disappear from here. The last one that we have is payroll. And there's really 2 main ones that you need to look at here. Timesheet not submitted, and it'll let you know the payroll period here. So if you go ahead, you click on that, it's going to give a list of employees that have not yet submitted their timesheets. You can also run a report on that as well in the report features, and we'll go over that in reports. The other nice feature that in here that is actionable is actually hide timesheet link. If you hide this timesheet link, and I'll click on it right now, now you can see it says show timesheet link, so the timesheet has been hidden. It has been hidden on the provider's login. That's to prevent them from trying to submit their timesheets early. It's a nice feature that you can use. Just make sure that if you do hide the timesheet, make sure that you come back in and click show timesheet on the day that they're supposed to be able to submit their timesheet. That's really it for the dashboard. So very easy things to do in there. Again, it's supposed to give you just a quick snapshot of everything that's going on in your organization. Obviously, you can go drill down and look at some reports with more information on that, get some really detailed reports. But again, this is just a quick overview of what's available on the dashboard.